I know Lawrence Taylor because I saw him in a movie called Any Given Sunday. And if you're like me, you know, like I love Any Given Sunday, right? So
I love
I love Any Given
any
Sunday.
given Sunday.
That's an inside joke, but yeah, I remember this guy from that movie. I didn't know, like Q told me just before we started today's episode that he was as big of a football player as he was. I knew that he played real football. I don't know how I knew that, but I did. In any event, he's like kind of the other guy. What's the other guy's name that ran for senator in
Herschel
Georgia?
Walker.
Herschel Walker. That's him. So he's a football player that was good. I remember Herschel Walker was a good football player too, right? And they're friends with Donald Trump, or they're like close with Donald Trump. I guess Donald Trump is a big fan of football, something like that. So, in any event, the way Donald Trump uses these guys is a little odd because I remember when we had to cover Herschel Walker, and I forgot the guy's name because he's a forgettable individual. But I do remember that he was. I think Dave Chappelle said that he was visibly stupid. I think that's how he described him. And I'm like, yes, that's the right way to say it. It sounds mean, but I mean, we're all seeing this, right? Like and not only that, he's not consistent. He's anti-abortion after having paid women to have abortions, and 100 other things that was wrong with him. And that was Trump's guy, and Trump was able to use him, and conservatives were able to use him to suggest that somehow that meant that Donald Trump wasn't as racist as he is, right? And I take issue with this because, again, you cannot like black people and use them because this country was founded on that very premise. They didn't like black people and they used them. And this is what Donald Trump's doing. So, like, the fact that people say, well, hey, look, he's got a black guy there. Well, okay, so he likes football players and he's using these people. They don't have any talent to offer any position. They don't have any intelligence, nothing. If they can do anything, it's play or teach football, right? Now, let me get into this story here about Lawrence Taylor, because Lawrence Taylor explains that he doesn't know what's going on in his own words. And then, Q, obviously, you have a lot more context here, so I'll let you round it out. But from the Black Information Network, ex-NFL star and registered sex offender Lawrence Taylor was tapped for President Donald Trump's Council on Sports, Fitness, and Nutrition, and he admitted, "I don't know why." And that's a quote. Coming out swinging. All right. On Thursday, Trump welcomed Taylor, a Hall of Fame linebacker for the New York Giants, to the White House for his event promoting youth fitness. Youth fitness, huh? Okay. Trump signed an executive order that reestablished the presidential fitness test for American children and relaunched the President's Council on Sports, Fitness, and Nutrition. Taylor attended the event and was tapped to serve as a member of the Fitness Council alongside golfer Bryson DeChambeau and Kansas City Chiefs kicker Harrison Butker. Introducing Taylor, Trump said, quote, "Acknowledged to be the greatest defensive player in the history of the NFL, a friend of mine for a long time." Too long, right, Lawrence? Lawrence Taylor, he's an incredible guy and just been my friend a long time. Knew him forever, unquote. The ex-NFLer then spoke at the podium, admitting that he doesn't understand his role on the council, but is here to serve Trump. Quote, "I'm just proud to be on this team. I don't know why. I don't know what we're supposed to be doing, but I'm here to serve, and I'm here to serve you," unquote. Taylor said during the event. He goes on to say, "So I'm going to do the best I can for as long as I can." All right. Trump also faced backlash for inviting Taylor, who pleaded guilty in 2011 to misdemeanor charges of sexual misconduct and patronizing a 16-year-old prostitute, to the White House event centered around youth fitness. All right. So that's a good volley of shots fired there. Q, take it away.
So just to rewind on some things that you said about Donald Trump having these black friends was the word that you used.
Okay.
And then right after you talked about how he uses these people,
Hmm.
which answered the question that you didn't even pose.
What's
Are
that?
these people his friends?
No,
Absolutely
yeah.
not.
Okay. I see what you're.
Like,
Okay.
what are we
Go ahead.
talking about?
Yeah. Go ahead. I hear
They're
you.
they are they are PR people,
Yeah. Token. Yeah.
token black people he can
Yeah.
point to say, look, I'm not racist. Look at my black quote unquote friends.
Hmm.
And you don't see a bunch of pictures of them together. They're not present when he's not campaigning. They're there for good PR, photo
Yeah.
ops.
Yeah. They don't hang out at his house.
Yeah, a registered sex offender on your teen fitness board or whatever. Like he doesn't even care about the bad optics anymore. At least he can say, look at my African American.
I caught that.
Harrison Butker being on that same stage. Misogynist, um, anti LGBTQ, anti diversity, equity, and inclusion. He calls DEI tyranny.
Is he white? Harrison
Of
Butker?
course he is.
Okay. I didn't know. Okay.
And thinks women need to maintain their place in the home and in the kitchen.
Oh, wow.
Your life doesn't have meaning unless you're a wife and a mother. He
Oof.
said this to women who had just gotten their degrees at their graduation.
Who
So
gave him a
yeah,
mic?
let's get the greatest assembly of people that we can. Because again, man, they don't care. Like these are the people that we get to represent our nation, spit in our faces and tell us that it's raining over and over again.
Yeah.
And imagine that, man. He's a hero to a lot of black people.
Lawrence
So
Taylor is?
so was Herschel Walker.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're not talking about guys that were just good. These are like some of the greatest people to ever do what they did.
Okay.
When they say arguably the greatest defensive player ever, a
Hmm.
lot of people don't even argue it.
Yeah.
The only person that really has a seat at that table that you can mention in that argument and people won't automatically decline is primetime Deion Sanders. Outside of that, there's not much of an argument for anybody else. So somebody who was once an inspiration to everybody I know that played football growing up. We've now become adults and watched just the decline, man. It's all of this is so sad because all of it is so obvious and people don't know or don't care. Or better, those that know don't care. And we're now in a position where the credits have rolled. The competition is over. They won and they won everything. And
Forever.
you can tell with every decision that they make that they know there's no repercussions, there's no accountability, there's no checks and balances, there's none of that. We can out loud do all the most harmful things ever. And when something shows that I'm corrupt and a bad person and that I'm a criminal, I'll pretend it didn't happen. I'll tell you you didn't see what you saw. I'll scream fake news and then throw another distraction at you. As we now hear about him considering pardoning Sean Combs, another one of his African Americans, for no reason. Like Diddy's not even facing any significant time for a lot of crimes. But he'll be able to say, look what I did for this black guy. I told you guys I'm not racist. And some black people will cheer about that. When he pardons black people that are famous and his pardon doesn't even have any impact or effect on their lives, black people still cheer. Look at all that Trump is doing for us. He's there for us again. It's a very obvious, straightforward, out in the open grift. It's a pilfer every time. And unfortunately, some people keep falling for it.